Welcome back to the JCPod, partnered with Stare Down Sports. I'm your host, Jaden Chandler Parnell, and man, it's time. No, I'm not going to do it. I won't lie to you. I planned on going for like a good 5 seconds on the it's, but I'm like, you know what? Let's focus on basketball today, man. It's going to be great. I won't lie to you. I have NFL news still on my schedule to talk about, but I don't know if we're going to reach that. It might just be all March Madness talk today. We are officially here. First four are done. Shout out to, I believe it's Wagner, Colorado State, Grambling State, and Colorado. All moving on, getting the chance to dance in the tournament. Those first two teams I said, Colorado State, Wagner, we'll see them today in action at some point. I'll talk about it when I go over and officially make my bracket. It's going to be great, man. We had a bunch. The first four games, I'll admit, Tuesday wasn't the best. I'll admit, 2 blowouts, but Howard ended up at least coming back to try to make it somewhat interesting. They still lose by 3. Virginia goes 52 minutes of real time without scoring, had 14 points in the second half. 14 points in the second half. I bet you, me and Rowan could find 3 people and probably score more than 14 points in the time span they did. I don't know what happened. That was just, it's very easy. Usually when the first 4 happen, once the committee's picked, I like what Gary Parrish said, by the way. I'm going to bring this up. Sorry to do this in the intro, but then we'll get right to the bracket after this. But I really liked what Gary Parrish said. He said that we usually shouldn't judge. After the tournament's complete, after they fill out all the teams, we shouldn't judge. But you can judge the first 4. Because it's kind of like, I don't think if he said the cutoff point, I forget what he said exactly, but the first 4 is like the thing he said that you probably should judge. And I agree. Because, yeah, you watch Virginia's performance, goddamn, they shouldn't have been in the first 4. Should have been anybody else, damn near. But like I said, we don't need to talk about that. Shout out to Colorado State for moving on. We got some interesting stuff going on today. We're picking a bracket. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to pick a bracket. I'm going to give out all my bets for Thursday and Friday. I really can't give you lines for Saturday and Sunday. I'll probably tweet them out if I do take them at that point, just since I'm not going to be doing a show over that time. But yeah, for most part, today's going to be pretty simple. Picking a bracket, giving out bets. Probably not going over NFL news, if we're being 100% honest. Like I said, I still left it on there. I'll leave it at the end on the off chance that, this goes 15 minutes and we're like, oh shit, I actually need to fill some time. But I don't know if there's too much to talk about. I know there's a big deal going on with Ohtani right now between Ohtani and his interpreter about a gambling big scheme. Yeah, that's something I can't wait to dive into as well. I'm going to probably wait till we hear more about it, but man, that's going to be exciting. But yeah, like I said, without any further ado, that'll pretty much finish the intro. Let's hop right into... don't think... there's some NFL news, but so far it's nothing super, super insane. There's nothing that's eye-popping off the sheet to where there's 5 things. I'll do these 5 things real quick. Devin McCourty disappointed by the Dynasty Series. That's what a lot of people are saying. This Dynasty Series was horribly done. From what I understand, they pretty much dunk on Bill Belichick, saying Bill Belichick's a big dumb dipshit, while painting Robert Kraft and Jonathan Kraft to be the true masterminds of the whole thing, which it sucks because I heard somebody say that. I'm like, oh man, is that true? And then sure enough, now every person I follow is listening oh yeah, the last 2 episodes are huge about that. So that's disappointing to see. The Browns are adding Dante Foreman from the Bears. Sutton, there's a domestic violence warrant out for Sutton from the Lions, so we're going to have to learn more. Cameron Sutton, we're going to learn more about what happens with that. I think that's about it. There's a new NFL kickoff being proposed, and the NFL's trying to ban the hip drop tackle. I'll talk about the hip drop tackle thing Tuesday. That's a whole different thing. And then I think there's 2 more things to learn about. What is? So it's saying Michael Thomas has been accepted into a diversion program of some. There's some program that Michael Thomas is entering. I don't know exactly what it's for, which is just could be being dumb and not knowing what a word means. But he's entering something to get some help of some kind. I'm not going to go into too much detail just because I'm not 100% sure exactly. So I'm just going to be. And the last thing I want to bring up, Aaron Donald just felt burnt out. That's why he really retired. So that's really the only reason I want to bring up the NFL news. There's a small little few things I wanted to talk about that ended up popping up, like Raz said it. But yeah, without any further ado, it's not football season. We'll get that out of the way. Just a little sweep it out the house real quick. Now it's time for the bracket. Oh, we got there quick. Let's I pulled up the women's bracket. Give me a second to pull up the men's. That's seriously hilarious. I had it up and everything prepped, and I didn't even realize they gave me the damn women's bracket. Unbelievable. All right, but we are going to start filling it out, and we're also going to start going with our bets. So, we're going to go with probably... I'll probably fill out the bracket first, and then I'll give out my bets at the end, but I'll talk about some games I will be betting on as we go. So, as you're watching, just know I will talk about it. I will talk about my lean for it. Just know if I'm going to give out a bet, I will say, hey, this is a bet I'm taking while I'm talking about it. Or I'm going to give them all at the end. I'll have it marked, and everyone can just, if you just want to hear what the bets are, go there. But, yeah, this is the bracket I'm probably going to be making. This will be very similar to the one I've made in the little bracket challenge thing I've made. But without any further ado, let's do it, man. First round, I mean, this is pretty easy. UConn has the toughest. We talked about UConn has the toughest regions. I still think I need to take them, though. I believe we did the coin flip last week. I'm not going to dishonor the coin flip this week, and I'm going to keep Northwestern. Probably... Yeah, you know, we're going to keep Northwestern. I don't mind Northwestern there. It's just, they just got to keep it close. FAU is another weird team where it's like, I still don't know if they should have been an 8 seed. This is a weird matchup. It's just a big thing. If Northwestern keep it close, I like the idea of Boo Buie making some magic happen, so I'm just going to take them in the hopes that they can keep it close. San Diego UAB, I don't want to say a pretty easy San Diego State for me, but I just don't. Watching UAB, I just like San Diego State's defense, what they've done this year, something like that. Basically just the defense compared to UAB. I don't got any analytical number. Like, San Diego State is 31st against defense at the three-point line, while UAB is shooting 351st in the country three-point line. I don't got anything like that for this game, but 5-12, I just don't think this is going to be the 5-12 upset, honestly. Auburn, yeah, I'm going to take Auburn. Won't be shocked if Yale gets something done. They have a really good big guy. Yeah, that is the team I'm thinking of. They have a really good big guy down low. I think his name's Wolf. I believe that's the team I'm thinking of. This is going to be an interesting game. I could definitely... They're making it... I'm not going to say I'm saying it, but I've heard people I really respect saying that Yale has a real legitimate shot here, so I'm going to be looking at them for the points. I can't remember how many points they are. Yeah, let me get this. We aren't building a women's bracket. Man, what is their points? See, I wish I would have organized slightly better how I wanted to do the betting in this. I just couldn't find a proper way to do it the whole time, so now I got to do weird spots where it's like, I'm going to stop in the middle of the show to look up a line. Yale. So yeah, I'm assuming it's under 10. Yeah, I lied. Yale plus 12.5. I won't lie to you, that's something I'm definitely leaning towards. I will not be shocked if I end up taking it. Do I think Auburn wins? Absolutely. I absolutely think Auburn wins, but I think there's a chance Yale could cover. Why not? BYU, Duke Quincy, Dukeanese, however you want to say it, the Dukes. I'm taking BYU over Duke. The Dukes. I'm taking BYU over the Dukes because this line was 6.5, now it's 9.5. BYU, you know what? Shout out my boy Rowan. He gave me a shit ton of stats last night. I'd be dumb not to read it. Let's see. Sorry, this will be a quick scroll because we were talking about it towards the end. This is where here you go. 6. So this is BYU. 6 in offensive efficiency, 31st in defensive efficiency, 50% of shots are from 3. So in the tournament, that could be make or break, life or death. Shoots 58% inside and 35% from outside the arc, and they have great rebounding. Quad 1, they're 6-8 though, 10-8 in conference play, which makes them 23-10 overall. And his biggest thing is they're built. This is his words, not mine. They're built for the tourney, but haven't won 3 games in a row. So that was his talk when we were talking about Sweet 16, Elite 8 teams. So BYU, basically on off those stats, he said BYU I think has a legitimate shot to make a run here. It's just him saying that them not winning 3 games in a row is a big sign. That's something to me where it's like, that's tough, especially in a tournament style when you got to win like 5 games. Like what, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. You got to get 5 to get the championship. They can't win more than 3. That is a little bit concerning. Illinois came in hot to the tournament. I'm obviously going to take them. Drake. I'm going to take Drake here. I really have no real explanation other than I need to take a dog. I feel like I need to take a dog. I have no real quarrels with either of these teams. I would not be shocked if Washington State did win, but I'm a Drake guy. What can I say? Sound like I'm talking about rappers. I'm a Drake guy, not a Meek Mill guy. Just kidding. I like both those guys. But anyway, back to what I was saying when it comes to Drake Washington State. I just don't got a true lead in this game. It's a 1-point spread game. So I'm going to take one of my upsets here with Drake. I liked what they did against Indiana State. Indiana State tried to lock them down from a down 18. I think Indiana State either tied it or at least took a 1-point lead in their conference championship game. And Drake didn't even blink. They're like, we already won. You guys have to waste too much time coming back, and they end up pulling it out to win by like 7, I feel like, or something like that. Might be wrong about the exact score, but Drake was up a lot. The game got basically tied, and then Drake pulled it back away. So I like when I see that from teams knowing, like, hey, they messed around a little bit, but they were able to just put the dagger back in and finish it. So I think I like Drake there. And then, yeah, Iowa State, South Dakota, give me Iowa State. I might end up taking their spread here in this game, too. It's been a big struggle of mine. It's like, man, do I want to bet Iowa State or do I not want to bet Iowa State? Moving on. Longwood against Houston. Apparently, there's the Fallies. The Fallises have won 3 years in a row now. There's the St. Peter's that beat Tennessee. What was it? Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue last year. Now there's Longwood against Houston. So apparently there's some thing going around where Fallises are beating teams in the first round. Longwood and Houston is the only one, sadly, this year. I just don't think that Houston's going to lose, man. I just think, especially after the Iowa State game, I am nervous, though, that sometimes they have 2 or 3 scores only. If one of them gets cold, all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, this actually could be concerning. But I don't think Houston's going to lose first round. I think it's safe to say that all the 1 and 2 seeds are going to be safe this year in the first round, at least majority of them. Now, when it comes to the second round, we'll get to that in a minute. But at least for the first round, I think a lot of these top seeds are going to be safe. Nebraska, Texas A&M, give me Nebraska, Keisei Tominaga. This is literally, I'm only picking Nebraska because of Keisei Tominaga. I'm not even kidding you. It's pretty much the only reason I'm picking Nebraska. He's a senior. I've watched this guy play for years. I'll admit, this is the first biased pick I've had in this tournament. I'll have 1 or 2 more, but this is the first one where it's like, man, I just love what Keisei Tominaga's done. Nebraska's actually been re-masked, by the way. Shout out. That dude's a dog, man. I won't lie. What do we think? He's Finnish, Swedish? I don't want to judge, but I'm not gonna. He's definitely from somewhere in Europe. He's definitely European descent for sure. Re-masked. That ain't a white name. I mean, that is a white name. Apologies. It's not an American name for sure. He's a stud too. I think Nebraska has it. I just think they have a chance, man, to steal something here. This is one of the better Nebraska seasons they've had in a while. I know the Big Ten bias is showing so far. I have a lot of Big Ten teams winning, but we won't be on that bias much longer. I'm pretty much just picking Keisei Tominaga, Nebraska. I just like what I've seen out of them a little bit more. Won't be shocked if Texas A&M wins here. They have 2 really good coaches, Hoiberg and Buzz Allen. I think it's going to be I feel like I just butchered Texas A&M coach's name. Sorry, it's going to drive me insane if I don't double check. Yeah, this is a game. This is another one of those games that can go either way. So I'm just going to go with Buzz Williams. I don't remember did I just say Buzz Aldrin or something like that? Buzz Williams. I hope I said Buzz Williams, but it's just one of those situations where I'm going to just ride with the team I'm a little bit more familiar with. If it's you know what? Do we do it? I think we do it. This is going to be... Oh, we can't. Not yet. We'll save it. We're taking Nebraska there. Next game, this one will be easy. James Madison, 30-3. I feel like this was a horrible seeding job for both these teams. James Madison shouldn't be a 12. Wisconsin saved themselves into getting a 5, but I feel like they probably should have been slightly lower. Literally, when I'm talking slightly lower, I'm talking 6-7. I just don't think they should have been as high as they were, just simply because they had... I think the Big Ten tournament saved them a lot with how well they played in it. I just don't trust Wisconsin. I was betting on them, the whole shit streak they had, and then I bet against them the whole Big Ten tournament. It's just a team I can't stand this year, so I'm just going to fade them until I'm right, and then I'm going to talk about how right I was. They make it to the Final Four and they lose in the Final Four, I'm going to still brag about how I was right about them losing. But no, even if they lose, I could see them maybe getting the Sweet 16, Wisconsin, but I don't think they're going any farther than that. But for me personally, I have them losing this round. I for sure bet on James Madison already. I'm going to take James Madison money sign. You can best believe that. Duke, Vermont. I'm going to take them Dookie Stains here. Probably will bet on Vermont, not shocking. I'm probably going to look to take the points with every team that Duke plays this year. I'm just going to fade Duke this year. There's been a lot of BS going around. There's a whole Kyle Filipowski situation that I'm not going to get into, but it's just wild. I'm just going to look. I just don't know what the vibes are like when it comes around Duke. Everyone hates Duke, of course, as well. I'm not only fading them because I hate them. I'm just simply taking them because I just don't like what I've seen from their body of work this season so far. I'm not saying they're a bad team, but to win the March Madness, you got to be either a really lucky team, a really healthy team, or a great team. And I just don't know if Duke is any of those 3. So I'm gonna be looking to take the points with other teams and just see what happens. Like I said, I've bet a few Duke games this year. I've watched a few Duke games this year, and I got a weird stain on that. Them Dookie stains, man. NC State, Texas Tech. This is a simple. This is gonna be tough. NC State won 5 games in a row in the tournament, and now they have to play another game. They were pretty hot in the tournament, so it's gonna be really hard for them to stay hot again against Texas Tech. But I like what I saw of NC State. We got Shaq Jr., DJ Burns Jr. I fucking love that dude, man. If watching him play basketball, it's like, oh, this big man has touch, this big man has skill. It makes me pissed. Like, man, how'd you end up at NC State, man? Feels like you have so much potential and talent. I obviously don't know what the kid's career arc is, because I'll admit, I haven't followed all of DJ Burns' career, but I've loved what I've seen out of him so far. I love what I've seen out of this NC State team. I'm ready to see them against Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech obviously is a good team. They're a 6th seed. I don't got to lean on anything that makes me like Texas Tech more than NC State. I think their offense is better. Texas Tech is, I'm pretty sure, but I'm going to take the ACC here in this matchup. Kentucky, Oakland, don't need to spend too much time on this. I think Kentucky wins. They don't got a lot of defense, but I think they have enough defense to hopefully be able to handle Oakland. Will they cover? I don't know. Now, that's a question that could be interesting. Colorado, Florida. I'm going to take Colorado. Colorado. Shout out Eddie Lampkin. Shout out Batman with the mask last night. Can't think about his name. No, I think Colorado has a pretty solid team. I thought Boise State kept it pretty close. I thought Colorado defensively did a lot of things good last night. I was frustrated watching Boise State just sitting there like, oh my god, man, it feels like they're trying to give this to you, and then Colorado State pokes the ball loose. They play solid defense. I liked a lot of what I saw from Colorado last night. They held a Boise State team that was an offensive juggernaut to really low points, and that translates in the tournament, especially with Florida losing one of their big guys last week to a horrible ankle injury that I don't recommend anybody looking up. Yeah, it pretty much it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. You had to get carted off. Don't recommend anybody looking it up. Like, seriously. There's rumors that the bone went through the leg, I think. It was just absolutely horrible. So, prayers up, obviously, to that kid from Florida, but I don't know what shapes Florida's in, and I liked what I saw defensively from Colorado, and usually I think there's a trend where at least one first 4 team moves on in the last few years, so I'm going to take my chance with Colorado. All right, moving on real quick. We'll burn through this part now because... So pretty much what my goal is, I'll try to break down a little bit more of the round of 64, but then when it comes to round of 32, week 16, I'm just going to kind of burn through it because by the time we get back on here Tuesday, we're going to be talking about those games, and I'm going to be breaking down those games again, so I don't want to go into too much detail, at least early, or super early on. But yeah, UConn probably there, for sure take San Diego State there. This is going to be a tough one. I've been struggling on my bracket personally with this one. I'm going to probably lean Illinois there. Take Iowa State here, then I have Iowa State winning that, UConn winning that. I have UConn, I'll admit, I have UConn mates in the Final Four. That's one of my teams I've enjoyed. And as tough as the region is, I just can't find a reason. Like, San Diego State's going to be the game. These are the 2 games, San Diego State and Iowa State. Both those 2 teams make it where it's like, all right, now you got some defensive tests. If they can get through that, then I don't know who's going to stop them. Houston, I like here. We'll take James Madison for the upset, and we'll have Houston moving on. NC State, Kentucky. I'll take NC State in an upset here with Marquette moving on. I'll have Houston, another team making the Final Four. This is the year, I'm going to lie, pretty chalk, pretty square, where I'm just like, man, I'm just going to take some of these good teams because I don't know a lot of these bad teams, and I have at least some. When it comes to the bracket pool, I have some upset set to where if I can get some points in the early rounds. I just don't know, man. So I like I said, this is going to be one of those tougher years. I just don't know where I'm fully at. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just be a little bit squarish. Let's be a little chalkish. Just keep some of these good teams up. Yeah, like I said, I mean, even if you still, my Sweet 16 is a 1-5, 3-2, 2-11, 1-12. So it's like, I still got some in there. But then you look at the Final Four, I got 2 1 seeds. So it's like, Moving on, though, we'll go to, this side looks like Friday, so we'll go to this side. North Carolina, Wagner. We're taking North Carolina. Pretty simple. Wagner has 7 players. Shout out to them for making it this far. This is a tough game. I won't lie to you. I'm going to lean Michigan State slightly towards my Big Ten bias, even though I didn't pick Wisconsin, so it's not full Big Ten bias. I just don't. This is going to be a tough game. 1-point spread game. I bet on Michigan State. I'm not going to lie to you. Am I confident in it? Not the most, but we'll let the coin decide. The coin will decide if I for sure stay on Michigan State, if I'm flipping to Mississippi State. We're going to do, and you know what? This is a beautiful coin, too. I don't know if... Lighting's always a goddamn issue. This is an Indiana quarter. So shout out. Here we go. Best out of 3. We got heads is... I guess it only makes sense. Heads is the Spartan Crown. Tails is the Bulldogs. So we got a heads. Shout out. That's Michigan State up 1-0. First one of 3. Michigan State up 2-0. Do I even need to flip this a third time? It's Michigan State, isn't it? Boom, 3-0 series sweep, Michigan State. Is this the way I was holding the coin? I don't know. I got a tails yesterday, or Tuesday, so. Yeah, I've done first 3-0 series sweep on the channel. Shout out to, we got to take Michigan State. Nothing more to say there. St. Mary's, Grand Canyon. I think Grand Canyon might be able to put up a fight. I'm going to take St. Mary's there. Alabama, I think it's going to be a tough first round matchup for them, but I still think they're able to pull it off. New Mexico, horrible seeding job right here by the committee. Horrible seeding job. So Clemson's going to get screwed. I like New Mexico here. Give me Baylor as well against Colgate. I like Baylor. I'll admit, this game, I'm a little tough. I don't know. I want to say I'm going to take Nevada, but I don't. I think I took Nevada in my bracket, but I truly can't decide between Dayton and Nevada. So heads Nevada, tails Dayton. We'll do a little bit of the coin flip action again. Tails, so we got a little bit of Dayton action. Oh, didn't even flip it. Didn't even flip it. Alright. Oh, I didn't flip it, but it ended up spinning, so I'm going to leave it at the spin. We're going to leave it. I said tails of Dayton, right? I think I did. That's tails 2-0. Man, are we going to get another? Bro, this coin is acting wild. There we go. We got a heads. I won't lie. This coin is just like, man. I'm used to the dime where I have a small. Ooh. Tied series. Heads 2, tails 2. Who we picking? Who we picking? Ooh. Give me the Dayton Flyers in this bracket. Like I said, I don't think I picked this in mine, but give me them Dayton Flyers. I won't lie. In my bracket, though, I think I do have Arizona losing to Nevada or Dayton, so I'm going to probably just stick with it here. I think Arizona's going to get caught with their lack of defense. I like Baylor against New Mexico here. I think Baylor's going to have a nice little run. I won't lie to you. Give me St. Mary's over Alabama. I just think St. Mary's has a chance to make a little bit of a run here. They're going to run into this North Carolina team that I think is going to have a tough game against Michigan State. I'll have North Carolina moving on. But I will not be shocked if St. Mary's win. Don't get me wrong. There's a chance that I think St. Mary's could potentially win that. I'm going to have Baylor moving on as well. And this is where I go a little bit unchalky. Baylor. First team in the Final Four. It's not a 1 seed. So I got UConn, Baylor, Houston right now in my Final Four. We got one more side of the bracket to do. And I got some bets to give out. We got Purdue, Grambling. Give me them Purdue boys. Utah State, TCU, I think it's going to be a really tough matchup. I'm going to take Utah State here. Another horrible seeding job. McNeese, Gonzaga. Give me them McNeese boys. I'm going to take Kansas here. I know McCullers is out, but I think Kansas wins this round. I think they're going to lose next round. So there's a quick little teaser for you. I think Kansas at least gets out of round 1. Round 2 is going to be a bit of an issue, though. Like I said, I think this is one of the worst Kansas teams that we've seen in recent memory. And I'm still saying stuff. I mean, because they're still 4 seeds. I'm not saying they're a horrible team, but man, the best. South Carolina, Oregon. We're going to take South Carolina here. I just like the South Carolina team, what they've done this season. Oregon, it's going to be a tough out, though. That's going to be a really, really tough out. Creighton, Akron. I just don't know how much of a chance Akron sadly is going to stand. Tennessee, St. Peter's, and you know what? Since we're on the UConn side of the bracket now, we'll flip the Connecticut coin. I got an Indiana coin, got a Connecticut coin. First 2 quarters I pulled out of the quarter jar yesterday. Not saying that's a sign Purdue or UConn's going to win it all, but here we go. We're going to go heads is those Rams, tails is Texas. Tails, Texas, heads, Rams. Let's get it. We got tails. Tails, Texas. I guess that's the thing. Yep, tails, Texas. Tails, Texas. Is it going to be a clean sweep? Ooh, a heads. Heads at least made an appearance. Tails, baby. Give me a Texas. I hope you guys can hear the little ting of the flipping of the coin. That's a great sound, man. Texas, Tennessee. I have to take Tennessee here. We're going to keep my pick. My bracket personally, I picked South Carolina, so I'm going to keep that up here. Purdue, Utah State. Give me them Purdue boys. I'm not going to lie. I think Purdue actually has a chance. I mean, realistically, Purdue should be able to, I'm not going to say walk to the Elite Eight, but they have a really, really, really good path if they can actually just play good basketball. It's crazy. It's funny. I obviously understand how sports work and everything, but if you look at the Purdue, pretty much anybody's big argument is Purdue is mental scars. They're going to lose the same way they always lose. It's Purdue. They're going to break down. I mean, that's all anybody has to say about this team. This team truly has a lot more talent than it did last year. Shooting the three ball a lot better than it was last year. The guards feel a lot more confident than they were last year. I mean, Braden Smith, extra year of experience. Fletcher Lawyer, extra year of experience. Lance Jones, they got a 6-year guy who's been there, done that. I don't know if he's done it in the tournament, but he's at least played a shit ton of basketball, so he has experience. So I'm going to take Purdue. Purdue makes the Elite Eight. I think they're going to get that monkey off their back a little bit. And this is where, in my bracket, I have a little bit of fun with it. Give me South Carolina, man. So we got a little bit of 1-3, 1-6 action on the whatever side of the bracket this is. I guess the Midwest West. So, in this case, for this round, for this reason, give me them Purdue boys. Them Purdue boys. And then this is where I have, this is what I did in my bracket. I have it, I think Houston, UConn, I think is mine. This is where I'm stuck, though. I think Baylor could potentially steal this. Yeah, this is going to be, I think, the first year in a while, though. At least in my bracket, I got a 1-1 in there. I just simply, like I said, I can't find a 2 or 3 seed that I think, or a 4 seed that I think is just going to be able to walk the whole way there. So it's just like, potentially, if anybody, maybe St. Mary's wins here, but then I still think Baylor gets them there. South Carolina, I could see potentially South Carolina getting Purdue, but they could also get got by Tennessee right here. It just depends how good Tennessee plays. They could also get got by Creighton and not even make it to the point where they play Tennessee. That makes it even funnier. They could get beat by Oregon in the first round. That's what makes it so wild. Is I have a team in the Elite Eight that could literally get beat in the first round, and it blows up a lot of what I'm thinking. But yeah, man, we're for this bracket. We're gonna let the Connecticut coin. We're just gonna give her a good old spin. I'm gonna spin these coins on my desk. Who's gonna be the winner of this bracket? That's 1 for the Connecticut side. That's 1 for UConn. Heads is, by the way, Houston. We'll put the H's together, and you know what? That didn't even do anything. Sorry, by the way, for all these extra noise I'm just making in your head. If you're wearing headphones, I didn't really think about that part. I won't lie. There's 2 tails for UConn. We got 1 more spin. We will do the. We'll see. UConn's kind of already up, but this is just to see. Let's see if this is a lock. If this lands on the tails side again, it's pretty much going to be a lock that, yeah. This bracket is a UConn thing. It was not. I won't lie. So there's a little bit of doubts potentially, but I'm going to stick with UConn. I'm not going to just keep spinning coins on my desk and making a shit ton of noise. Yeah, man. This bracket we made together, the first official look through that we got UConn winning it all. Total score, what do you want to put? Do you think it'll be like 64, 65? So we'll do 129. Do we want to do 130? 140? We'll do 136. We'll just do 136. We'll call this the JC show bracket. Boom. It's made. I don't know why I accidentally scrolled up. But yeah, if you want to look at the regions again, here's a quick little pause. This is what we were thinking. All right, you got it. Screenshot. Yep. Okay, good. Now we're going to move on to... Wait, can you see... You might not have been able to see that small, some of those, but I think you were able to see most of it. All right. We know North Carolina. We're going to cut off some of the bottom, but... All right. I think that's good. That's the bracket we made. That's a little bit of the fun we had. Do we just sit? I might just sit here. I might just sit on this screen to end it. Yeah, we'll just sit on this screen to end it. I don't got too much to go over. We're just going to talk real quickly about bets I have for tonight. So going into tonight, like I said, we already talked about it. Michigan State -1.5. First game, I really don't, I'm not going to be mad if this Michigan State bet loses. It's one of those, I'll admit, I'm taking kind of all right, there's a chance this loses, but first game of March Madness, first game of the day at noon. Let's just get it, man. Start off the action hot, get a little bit of a sweat going, enjoy a little bit of potential money making. So yeah, I like Michigan State -1.5. I honestly, genuinely think they can win too, so that's another reason I took it. Another one we got, McNeese, +6.5 against Gonzaga. I like McNeese. I just think I like McNeese wherever they're pretty much going. They're a really, really good underground team. And they're a little bit of a smaller, I think mid-major, consider mid-major, smaller major, whatever you want to call it. But they're a smaller team, but I really think they generally have a shot against Gonzaga, so I'm going to take the points. I don't mind the money line. I also have another bet on it as well, but the bet I'm going to be giving out is the spread. South Carolina, man. Money line. Give it to me. I like South Carolina. Like I said, we talked about them a lot. I got them going to the Final Four. I think there's a lot of potential with this team, so it's going to be a really tough matchup against Oregon, but I'm going to take them to win that one and get out of the first round, at least make it to Saturday. And then first sure bet, NC State plus 4.5. I like the Wolfpack. We talked about it. Another one of those teams. They ran the tournament, so I'm going to stick with the team. I'll admit, I rode this team most of the tournament. For most of the ACC tournament, I didn't bet them the final game because I just didn't bet the championship game of the ACC tourney. But I pretty much took this NC State team almost every other game other than that. So yeah, I got to stay with them one more time. I'm just gonna. Usually you want to find the perfect time to jump off the train. I'm just gonna say, screw it, man. We're gonna ride till this train falls apart, man. Moving on now. So pretty much to end it, we got, like I said, BYU's minus 9.5. I don't mind that. Just a few too many points for me to take, so I'm gonna stay away. Arizona minus 20.5. I just wish it was 19.5. That 20.5. They're going to win by 20, and the hook's going to piss me off, so there's no point in taking that. North Carolina minus 24.5. Just way too big, man. Just slightly too big. Illinois minus 11.5. Another one is slightly too big. I think they win, but what's funny is, too, is most of these teams are probably going to end up covering this number. I just don't have a reason to be like, yeah, let's bet on a minus 11.5 in March Madness. Like, I just can't get myself to that point. South Carolina is now minus 105, getting close to the plus money range. That's kind of cool. Nevada has now turned into a favorite at minus 120. I probably am going to take Nevada. I'm not going to lie to you. That's probably another team I'm going to bet on. I think that, sorry, I forgot that I forgot I placed the NBA bet going to bed last night, so I ended up winning. So it's like, oh, shit. Sorry about that. I totally forgot about that. So that just threw me completely off. But yeah, like I said, where I was at Nevada, yeah. Nevada's probably gonna end up, like I said, gonna end up being a team that I end up taking. I'm just trying to get myself to the point. I'm gonna need to just find a slightly better number potentially, just because minus 120. Just give me 110. Give me 110 or plus 100. I'll be all in on it. I mean, minus 120 even still isn't that bad, so I'll probably even jump in on that as well. Colorado State plus 115 against Texas. I might take that just for the fact that I don't trust Texas, man. So I might end up on Colorado State, but I haven't placed that bet yet. Same with Nevada. Those are two teams I like, but just haven't got to yet. We talked about McNeese. We got that. Iowa State minus 15.5. That's another team that I like. Just haven't got to take it yet. We'll see. I just don't know. I just can't decide. Like I said, I want to take Samford plus 7.5, but I just can't. I just wish they would get to 10. If they were 10, I would take Samford. Anything lower, I think Kansas is going to win. I just don't know by how much they're going to win by in this round, so I'm just going to stay away versus trying to sweat out that. And then last bet I'll probably take tonight is Drake. So for sure's are Michigan State, McNeese, South Carolina, NC State. The ones I'm looking at are Illinois, Nevada, Colorado State, and Drake. Those are the ones I'm looking at for Thursday that I just haven't fully got to. Then when it comes to Friday, I haven't placed any bets Friday, but I kind of know already where I'm going. Give me Northwestern money line. The coin is spoken. We're going to ride with the coin right there. Baylor minus 14.5. I'm probably going to take that. Won't be shocked if they don't cover the 15, but I like it being under 15. I think that's about probably what I would think they'd win by. It's close to 15 to 20. Especially because this Colgate team isn't as strong as it's been in years past. San Diego State minus 7.5. Feels like slightly too much for a San Diego State team, but at the same time that could be not nearly enough. But it seems like the line's going towards UAB. And it seems like that we're going to get a 6.5 with San Diego State, which is, I'd rather just take the 6.5 at that point. Marquette minus 14.5. That's another 14.5 we'll probably end up taking. UConn being 26.5 against Stetson. I just we might take it, but it might just be worth to stay away. New Mexico has gotten all the way to minus 2.5 now. They were minus 1.5. I probably am going to take New Mexico regardless. I just am going to fade Clemson. Not the biggest fan of Clemson. Yale plus 12.5. That's probably something I'm going to be on for sure. I know I use a double negative, but I'm going to be on Yale plus 12.5. I think Auburn wins this game. I'm just hoping Yale can at least keep it close and cover, keep it within 10. Colorado plus 100 plus 1.5. That's for sure. I'm taking that. Give me Colorado. Nebraska minus 115. This will be a fan bet I place. I would not recommend anybody taking it unless you actually feel confident. I am taking this solely for the fact I think Keisei Tominaga and Nebraska is going to move on, so I'm going to take them because they're lower odds. I know that's not the best way to read a bet, but we can do it for one game. Purdue minus 26.5. I'm going to bet it, probably hate it. Vermont plus 11.5. Looks like it's going to be moving to 12. I might take that 12. A lot of these Friday games are the games I actually like a lot more, which is hilarious. I do have James Madison bet. James Madison plus 5.5. Do have that bet. Love that bet. Love James Madison. Utah State minus 3. Utah State plus 3.5. I'll probably lean there. The line just keeps moving that direction. So I'll probably take the points there, especially because I get in the half. And then you got St. Mary's minus 5.5. I don't know. Probably not going to take that game, I don't think. So yeah, real quick to cap it. Utah. So these are unofficial bets for Friday, but bets I'm probably they're either unofficial or they're on the brink of being taken. Utah State plus 3.5. James Madison plus 5.5. I did take Utah State. Have not taken. I'm not even gonna talk about Purdue minus 26.5. I don't want to waste anybody's money. Probably gonna take Vermont plus 12 when it gets to there. Nebraska, I am gonna take. Colorado, gonna take. Yale plus 12.5. Gonna take. New Mexico minus 2.5. Gonna take. Marquette, maybe. San Diego State, maybe if it drops. Baylor, maybe. Northwestern, gonna take. And that's going to do it, man. If you need me to go through it, I would just, honestly, your best option is probably going to be rewind it because I don't know if I want to read all those names again. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, man. It's been a fun one. Officially got the March Madness action. Able to quickly talk about NFL too. NFL still made it into a March program. Let's go. No, but finish it off. Yeah, I'm very excited. Excuse me. It's going to be really fun, man. It's going to be a fun week of basketball. I mean, you can see the dates up here. 21st to the 22nd, then you got 23rd to 24th. We get a week off for the Sweet 16, then the Elite 8. And then we get the Final Four. I mean, dude, it's going to fly by, man. That's what's crazy. It took like 2 or 3 weeks to get here, and then we're going to blink, and we're already going to be in the Sweet 16. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm really excited. We got a bracket pool that I'm in. Winning prizes, it was 20 to get in. Winning prizes is 200 right now in first place. So it's, ooh, juice, boy. Pays out 3 places, but we going for first. Yeah, like I said, that's probably going to do it for today. I don't got too much to talk about. It's going to be a shorter one for today. I mean, understandably, there's not a lot to talk about. We made a bracket. We talked about the bracket. We talked about as much as we could. I don't have really too many games to break down. We talked about the games last night that were the exciting games. We didn't talk about them too much, though, but shout out to Grambling, man. Amazing comeback to end up winning first NCAA tournament ever for them. Their first tournament win now ever, and now they get a chance to play against Purdue. Shout out to them, man. Get a first time ever. They're in the tournament now. Now they get a chance to play a really good team. Maybe make some magic happen. And then shout out to Colorado. Like I said, big win. I think they're going to beat Florida. Very excited for them. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. I really do appreciate it. When you see me back in this feed on Tuesday, more Madness talk. We're going to recap pretty much the round of 64, the round of 32. What did we miss? What was I not seeing when I made this bracket? Did the committee get something wrong? We're going to talk about pretty much anything you can college basketball in this bracket. And then we'll also talk some NFL news because I'm sure there'll be a lot more NFL news next week. And then pretty much when March Madness is over, that's when we're going to begin our story times. First story I'm going to probably talk about is the rise of Aaron Donald and just how he became one of the game's best interior defensive linemen and how impactful he was on the game. But yeah, that's probably going to be a few weeks from now because right now, we March Madness, baby. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for all the support. Really do appreciate it. Much love to everyone. I'll see everybody back in this feed on Tuesday. Like I said, if you want to check out Captain by Hook with the Red Beard on Friday, going to be showing, which is tomorrow for some of these people who are watching it, the day it comes out. Going to talk with my boy. We're probably going to talk the round of 64 action. For sure going to be giving out our bets for the round of 32. So, hey, if you want my official bets for the round of 32, you're going to have to go visit him. I'll see everybody back in this feed on Tuesday. And, hey, it's Madness season, baby. Hope everyone enjoys March Madness. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And see everybody back in this feed on Tuesday.